Blast. Welcome to today's review of some of my most special clones in my collection. Is this all of them? No, because when we get to the 501st, oh my gosh, that is when I realized there are way too many of these guys to collect. For the figures I'm going to be reviewing today, it's going to be one of my oldest and my actual original figure, Commander Gree. Then we got Commander Jack, a clone tank gunner commander. Then we got Commander Bly and Captain Locke. Now looking at the price points of each, I have to say the most easily obtainable one of them all is Commander Gree. I don't know why, I just feel like he was the most easily accessible, especially because he was one other than Captain Rats, Anakin, and Ahsoka. He was one of the first clones I ever had in my collection, and I just loved the crap out of him. Then for Commander Bly, he is expensive, especially if you get his helmet. Then if you're looking for a complete figure, just be careful. Again, double check who you're buying it from. There are some people that are listing with his clones that makes him cheaper, and you get two extra clones and other weapons with it. I would say go for a deal like that. And then Commander Jack, he's just a little hard to get because of the pauldron, and the head is a very specific body type, especially with both guns. The clone tank gunner commander, he's a little easier to get. And then Captain Locke, I would say he's as easy to get as Commander Gree. It's just whether you want him in bots or out of bots. Start with the easiest clone, and one of the clones I had the basic base body, but it had an upgraded paint scheme from Captain Rats, and then he had a pistol, a DC-15 and a DC-17. That was the other reason why I liked them, especially with a removable helmet. This guy came with everything that I was looking for, especially that satchel on his chest. Now to get a closer look at him, I do have to say that especially on the shins and little other tiny places like on the back, you can definitely see how much I played with him, from the yellowing and the dirt stains, but that just means I love this guy. Out of this set, this is my favorite, and this is the one I would recommend the most. Get Gree and his green boys, and then I say, man, you can probably stop there. You can try to find a 501st 312. Not to say you can't, you can, but it just might be a little more pricey than this guy. To look at the head, it is also one of my favorite details. He still has sharp paint details, a wonderful haircut, even though I don't really like it, and shockingly, man, he still looked great after all these years. I'm shocked that he didn't accidentally scrape something off, but I guess even as a kid, I knew to protect these guys. Now going into the look of the helmet, it is very nice. I love the giant pinstripe on the front, going all the way to the back and rounding out. It's fine that they don't have the gray, and then the green paint going around, and the black little details makes this a definite favorite. And then Phase 2 Gree, which I will review later, is definitely taking a turn. But I'll get into that once I see him. Now for what he comes with, this isn't his actual blaster. This is a special edition version of the blaster. It has a metallic sheen. I just have a bag of these because I'm not going to give each of these guys their own weapons again. So whatever, he looks fine with it. And he does come with a pistol pouch and a pistol, and this one is the right one. I think I lost it, so this is a spare. And then the bat satchel, it is just a regular black plastic piece that comes with the clones. Going around the body, they had some nice ideas. This is very simple thinking about it, but I love the arm detail, I love the chest, and I love the slight gray details on the back. That is what makes clones special, because they know that they can look good and they put in the work to do so. Now for the articulation, again, this is one of the first clone bodies, so I've gone over it with Captain Rats, Commander Cody, and the other clones that I reviewed in my previous video. So going up, can he look up a lot with his helmet? Yes. I don't understand why he can look up more, but I think it's because this time they went with a smaller head in comparison. It looks that way to me. Looking down, he can seemingly look down, and with his helmet, no hindrance at all, which I love. The shoulders, mine of course are a little bit loose because I have been playing with them for who knows how long. They go up very, very nicely. They have a a wonderful 360. He doesn't fully get a 90, but it don't matter. It made sense with the armor he's wearing. The wrist on his right goes from thumb to pinky, and the satchel on his body does not get in the way at all. It is free moving, so there's no threat of it catching on to the helmet, the neck, or whatever, especially the arm. And no, it does not limit the arm from going down. The arm just can't go down that much. On this hand, it is the top of the wrist, the bottom of the wrist. The ab rotation, of course, is stunning. Just like Commander Fox, there is no real threat of it scratching the paint, so play with it as you please. Since there is no outward movement, there's no real threat of the pistol holster getting in the way at all. Going forward, he gets a lot. Well, a lot for this line of figures. Going back, he does get a wonderful back kick. For a knee bend, he gets under 90. But it's okay. I'm not really complaining about that. My guy's feet are very tight and I don't want to break anything, so just know that it can go up and down. Next up is Captain Lock, and I have to say that I love the design on this guy too. The clones have taught me that green is one of my favorite colors if they look good, especially the shoulder print. That looks stunning. I love the visor and the yellow line. You have a nice shoulder antenna that is separately colored with no paint blemishes and basic painting, but you know, I'll take it. I really do like the simplicity of it. The one shocking thing I have to say about this guy when I first had him is like, oh, so he has a human colored neck or skin colored neck, but yet there's no head under here. I mean, yes, in the show we kind of had a 5-minute run and then Grievous kind of ended it, but I don't know. I'm kind of like, well, you were almost there. You could have done it, but I get it for canonical reasons. For the articulation, it's standard. I would say this is what a clone would be like if it didn't have a removable head. So going up, he can look up pretty nicely. Going down, he can more look straight than anything. Shoulders, I'm gonna do it with the paint. No problem at all. There's no paint scratching, no paint rubbing, so no fear there. There is a nice upwards movement, and mine is tight, like almost has ratchet joint. That might be a paint, so do be careful if you want to save the inside of the paint. The elbow is tight, very tight. All this, he doesn't get a full 90, but good enough. The wrist movement is thumb to pinky, and it is top of the wrist to bottom of the wrist on this side. Of course, there is no hindrance in ab rotation. It is just that it is very limited. He cannot really get a forward ab bend for some reason. It might just be mine, because as you can see in the back, it is slid back a lot. I don't know why that is, but oh well. The leg movement forward, he can kind of kick. The leg movement back, no problem at all. The knee bend, pretty nice for this figure. And then you do get a, oh my gosh, these are all tight, up and down ankle. So standard version, he's pretty good. He does come with some of his own weapons, but because the previous owner stretched out the hand, I can't really display him with it, so he's just a bare bones guy. Now to the Clone Tank Gunner Commander, that is a name. I have to say that for detail and add-on wise, weapon wise, just shielding wise, and whoever the heck thought of this is nice. I love the armor pieces, I love the shoulder armor, I love the addition of head armor. All of this is just very, very nice. I especially love the Captain Fordo pistols. As I was doing this, I was like, but I've only seen Captain Fordo have it. Well, it's like, no, there's standard issue in the Clone Wars if you have the rank. So it's nice to see another clone have these. One thing I will advise on, big advise, is that as you can see, the pistol holster is warped. So if you want to make sure that these guys are prime and will always look good, do not keep the pistols in, because as you can see, they are warped. It's not the biggest deal to me because he can't even hold both of them, so I keep them in his pockets anyways, and he mainly stays in the ATTE I have, so I'm not that bugged by it. But then for people who want pristine clone figures that they can sell later on or just pass down, do be advised, if you want the prime version of this guy, do not keep the pistols in his holsters. Now there is no head under this, it's just a big ball joint, which I don't know why they keep on changing it from clone to clone. But for the articulation, he is limited. I do have to say. Mainly in this case because of the big ball joint. Looking up, he can pretty much just look straight. He can look down a whole lot more than all the other clones. I'm pretty sure that's because he's supposed to be sitting in the cannon or something. So I like that, and I like that. I'll take it. Going up, I don't know why, but mine are very tight, so I will not go too deep into articulation with him. I do want to note that on the other side he does have a nice emblem. Do you know that it has a wonderful swivel armband, less than 90? Oh well, like I always say. On the left hand, it is thumb to pinky. On the right hand, wrist to wrist. Going forward, he doesn't have that much. Going back with the skirts without trying to damage it. He can strike a walking pose, so I'm fine with it. Knee bend, same as all the others. Same, he has a ankle forward and back. This one is actually loose enough for me to move it. And for the ab rotation, he is like a plank. You can rotate, you can get a little forward and back, but not a lot. I would say that this guy is definitely more shelf candy than anything, especially there are other clones that look like him. I will review them before I get to the 501st, and I have to say, this is a definite favorite. Now to get on to my favorite of the bunch for the intricacy, let's say, I have to say it goes to Commander Jet. Firstly, I love the helmet. I don't know why. It is big, it is bulky. I don't like the wide brim, but I love the ears. I love the stealth helmet concept. I especially love that they added this. I mean, it's like, yeah, it fills his rank, but I don't know. I always like that they did that, and they didn't freaking glue it to him as well. I love the shoulder printing. Mine is a little damaged. I had another one that was prime, but he didn't have this in his head, so it was either take that damage with his pistols or spend another 20 bucks or another 70 bucks just to complete him, and I chose to do that. And it does go on both sides as well. They aren't different. The other detail on him, some nice stuff, is the shins. I really like that brown in the middle, so that is cool. The pistols, they have no threat of being damaged by being in the holsters. There's a nice yellow brim around the skirt, nice details on the head, and overall this guy just looks great. Now to get into why I like him is that he is one of the clones that doesn't have the up and down wrists, and he's not a statue, but he has the body of most clone statues. So starting with the articulation, the head, there's pretty much none. He can nod, and that's pretty much it. And something else I'm realizing is these are loose. That's probably why there's that gap there. No, I'm fine with it. This does not get in the way at all. Moving up, it is a very smooth joint. He doesn't go high as all the other troopers, but that's fine. The arm, because it is the shoulder bicep with smaller arms, he can get a little more than 90, and it is a rotating wrist, so it is not a up and down. Do be advised of that. It is the same on the other hand, and the other reason why I like this guy is because both hands are trigger finger hands. This is when I was like, okay, these are the guys that if I can get all my clones of, I would get them on this body. Is it as good as some of the other ones? No, but I don't care, because this one to me is what I want. I'm ambidextrous, so I want my clones to be ambidextrous. Moving on from that, the ab articulation is splendid. You can get back far, very far, but then there's not that much forward. You can of course rotate, and there is no real side to side, but you can kind of make them crunch a bit. Going forward, like the rest of them, not a lot. Going back with the skirt, almost not limited, almost, but it is a little bit, so be advised. Knee bend, he does get less, believe it or not. It's not like you can really tell, but it is less, trust me. Then he does have an up and down ankle rotation, but this one is tight, so I will not do that. Now for the last and most expensive figure I believe in my whole collection is Commander Bly. The main reason why he's expensive is because of the head visor and the pistols. I'm not too sure on the pistols, but as I said before, it is hard to match the pistols with the right clone body. I don't know why they did that, but here we are anyways. The company is done, so not like we can really complain to anyone. The features that he comes with are pretty standard. The themes that he comes with are standard as well. There's nothing really to say, oh wow, you have to get him, he's like the top notch, the only one where you can only get this stuff. No, the headpiece, Echo has it. This, all the clone commanders have it. The pistols, you know, a lot of clones have it. The only reason why he's important, why he's so special, special is because he's Commander Bly, and he has a pretty cool paint, let's say, order. In comparison to Commander Gree is more of like a guard, like the Senate Guard painting, and he is more of just a standard clone. So I feel like that's the other reason why he's so expensive, is because he's not very flashy. He is a bare bones, good looking clone. I mean, other than the ankle paint, that's really it. I can see why people like him for multiple reasons. Now, the little contending part is the visor. It's like, yeah, it works, but then you got the little sliding mechanic that doesn't look the best. That's just me. I even like that they added a little tiny paint tech right there and painted the front of the visor black, and they added a little, oh wow, I didn't see that before. They added some up top too. Okay. That's cool. I can see why his helmet is so expensive now. But looking at his head, ooh, that is a tight, smooth fit. Wow, it is amazing. It is very clean, very Bly, and wow, even the tattoos on them are okay. That's great. I love the widow's peak. I love the hair. I love that he's like Captain Rex style hair, but he didn't paint it, and he's just a basic clone. He's a clone commander that is more action than if you know his actual lore. He is not the nicest guy, unfortunately, from what I hear. Moving on from that, let's get into the articulation. Going up with the helmet, he can glance up, he can't really look down, and of course, as you've seen before, the visor does move down without a single problem, so you don't need to worry about that. And if I never say it, just know that every clone can do a full 316 head. I just don't feel like I need to. Now, without the helmet, it's pretty much nothing changing. He can kind of move, I don't know why, but this ball joint is very limiting. It might just be mine, but I'm not gonna spend another 120 bucks to get another one just to test it. Arms are freaking tight, oh my gosh. Dude, even the rotation is tight. Okay, I'm not gonna move this guy a lot, but he is on a clone based body, so I believe you guys understand what the articulation is like. Same with the wow, the ab is also limited. Oh my gosh, that's shocking. Each clone has their own articulation. That's something new to learn. Going up, he can get a little bit more than some clones, especially with the skirt on. The knee, same amount of posability. He does have up and down at the ankle. It's tight. You know what I'm gonna say about that. And then going backwards with the skirt, he is limited just like the other guys with the skirt, as where he can't go all the way back, but you know how far he can go. The wrist does go thumb to pinky on the right, and then wrist, top of the wrist, bottom of the wrist on the left hand. That's gonna be it for today's video. So I'm also thinking that maybe I'm not going too in depth with the looks of these guys, maybe their articulation. If you guys want me to go over something more, like let's say give the clones their weapons like the DC-15, DC-17, and whatever else I have, do let me know down in the comments so I can show you guys what they really look like when they're armed up. But other than that, thank you for watching. Next review is going to be of a few of these guys as commanders, or in relation to Commander Jack, it's going to be Ki-Adi-Mundi. So if you also want to see a specific clone, a specific Jedi, Sith, or whatever, do leave that down in the comments below as well. I may have them. I'm learning today that there is also a Mother Talisman, so I'm just having to collect more little by little. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. God bless, and I'll try to get more videos out per week. See you next time. Peace.